are the champion of football in Meghalaya Games 2024, even in the absence of facilities.
I would like to thank the speaker for giving me the opportunity to participate in the governor's address. I would like to highlight some of the points based on the address made by the governor with regard to the government policy. Coming to Home Police Department, I'm happy that the governor in his speech had specifically mentioned the strengthening of fire and emergency services. But what I would like to urge upon the government is, yes, I personally understand the importance of fire and emergency services since I'm part of this service before, and I've had the experience as a fireman, where in many instances, the fireman is the first responder to any emergency situation. But the sad reality is that the fireman is not fully protected, whether while encountering a fire incident or doing rescue work. I just would like to recollect one incident where in the year 2012 or 13, if I'm not mistaken, while I was still posted in Maulai Fire and Emergency Services. What happened during that year? There was a flood around the river Umkra, where most of these houses along the river Umkra, they have been submerged under the water. So as the station, Maulai Fire Station, we were the first respondent to this emergency. And the sad reality is, we went on a mission to rescue the people, but we are not fully armed to deal with the situation. So my request before the government is to kindly look into the safety and security of the firemen. Many a times I've seen in the department where I was part of, the government are very much happy in procuring new vehicle in the form of fire tenders. And there was an instances where there are more fire tenders in the fire station than the sanction post of a driver fireman. So we can understand the situation. There should be a balance. Yes, we need new fire tender to deal with the new situation, but then at the same time, it is also important to sanction new posts. And coming to food and civil supplies. Yes, in his speech, the governor said that the public distribution system of Meghalaya is being modernized through infusion of technology. But then, I've been encountering for the last 1 year where the people from my constituency came up to me, where many want to enroll themselves to avail the public distribution system. But it has come to my knowledge from my people itself, from my constituency, where for the last 3 years, it seems that there is no new connection nor enrollment of new beneficiaries. And interestingly, in the last few months, I've seen in the newspaper, in Assam, more than 30,000 new beneficiaries have been added to the public distribution system. So I urge upon the government to kindly look into this matter so as to help those families who live below the poverty line. Coming to education, I'm happy that the government remains committed to providing quality education in all aspects. But then, one pertinent issues that crept up in each and every family today is the problem of CUET, which have been introduced since 2022. Yes, the central government have been kind enough to allow the students of our state not to appear for the CUET, but it seems from this year it will be compulsory. I would like to know from the government how prepared is our government to deal with this problem. In fact, just recently, I've come across some students. I would like to cite one example about one school in Shillong, where there are 50 students who are appearing for their class 12 examination this year. I was surprised that out of the 50 students, only 10 have registered to appear for the CUET. Out of curiosity, I was inquiring from one of the students, what is the reason behind? And this student informed me that these 40 students did not register themselves for CUET out of fear, because through past experience, these examinations have been announced at the last moment. And at the same time, since the government so far have not been able to prepare centers for our students from our states, many of our students have to sit for this examination outside of the state. Some of them have to venture out even till the western part of our country, to West Bengal, Tripura, and therefore, many of these students, especially who comes from a poor background, they feel that it is beyond their reach to ask their own children to sit for the CUET examination because of the financial implication. If this is the situation, if this is the reality, when it comes to only one school in Shillong, how much more is the ramification when we talk about the state in general? Therefore, I would have expected from the governor in his speech to clearly lay it out whether the government is fully prepared to conduct the CUET examination within the state. As we are aware, in last year, there were more than 20,000 students who cleared their class 12 examination, let alone who have cleared the degree examination. Are the government prepared for all these? Coming to sports and youth affairs, yes, the government has been very more proactive. In fact, our Honorable Chief Minister had mentioned that this government will spend around 1,000 crores for the next 5 years to concentrate with sports development within the state. Yes, I agree that we do need good, not just good, but world-class infrastructure. It is no doubt very important.
Please try
And
to
at the
wind
same
up.
time, yes, sir, I'm
The time
coming.
is up.
And at the same time, this government, it is an expert in organizing many events, spending tens and tens of crores. But then, I will also urge upon the government to kindly invest also on the athletes. Because I find out many a times that when many of our young boys who have been selected to represent the state going outside for national and even international events, they have not been looked after from their TA, their lodging and even fooding. And just a few days, some of the youth from my constituency and outside have even contacted me, where we are all aware that government, as part or an offshoot of the sports policy, they have launched the sports scholarship. But interestingly, these sports person
You have already
have
exceeded 10 minutes. Please.
informed me, yes sir, I'm coming,
Please wind up.
that presently our team, football team, they are there in Arunachal to compete for the Santosh Trophy. But these same boys called me yesterday. Last year, they were the runners-up. And the government, through the sports scholarship, had announced that they will be providing scholarship to these boys who have brought laurels to the state. But till today, they are there, competing again in the Santosh Trophy, but they have not received this scholarship. And the same is with other athletes in different disciplines.
Please wind up, please.
Coming to
No,
transportation.
There are more than still 4 more speakers to.
Okay, so let me just wind up.
Little time for them. I cannot give time. Please wind up.
Okay, coming to transportation, I've seen that the government has failed to mention with regard to public transportation, and especially with regards to the ISBT, Interstate Bus Terminal, where I've learned from those people who are there in the ISBT that the ISBT is not fully functional. And then coming to public works, PWD department, it is sad to say that the national highway.
Please wind up. I've given you 11 minutes already.
I will need more time, sir,
No,
to
please.
discuss.
There's still some more. I've given time only till 1 o'clock. After that, we have a lot of business to do. So please try to wind up.
The public work department, in fact, the national highway passing through Maulai is in a pathetic condition. Time and again, I've had discussion with the department concerned, but then it is going nowhere. So I will request on the government through the minister in charge to kindly look into the matter. And I feel the need that certain locations in Shillong, we need this foot over bridge. And even in my constituency, there are certain locations where I feel that we need foot over bridge to be constructed.
Please wind up.
And lastly, coming to the urban affairs. Yes, I'm happy to learn from the government that the government is intended to build the new Shillong Township in 2 phases. The first phase is an administrative city at Mau Diang and a world-class and a knowledge city at Mau Khanu. But then, through the governor's address, the governor has failed to mention one important aspect, and that is with regard to waste management.
Yeah, please.
Therefore, I would like
Please wind
the
up, please. Otherwise,
government
this
of the
will
day
not go on
to
record.
look into this matter. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Can I call upon Sincere Cooper Roy Limdo Thaba, please? Please be brief.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Thank you for allowing me to speak regarding the debate on governor's address. Sir, I'll just like to take just a few departments to speak on. I'll start with sports. Since sports is a sensitive department because it involves the youth of our state. And what Honorable MLA from Maukarwat has spoken, he said that through tourism, people are able to make their livelihood. And also I'm saying here, through sports also, it is a platform where sports person, youth, can make an earning and become a platform for their source of livelihood too. So talking about sports, I just want to make, by going through an incident that happened recently at the Meghalaya Games. My friend's son took part in the Meghalaya Games and got a stress call in between. Then the father has to rush, who is my friend, pack some clothes, some food, and some chocolates for his son. Then he had to stay there in Tura till the game was over and return. The best part is that when they returned, my friend's son returned home with a medal, which is a gold medal, in the particular discipline he took part. So what I'm seeing here is just not the story. The story might be motivating, it's good. But what I'm seeing here is the parents now are supporting, are giving a support to their child, which is a good part. So what I'm seeing now, it is the people, the common people, the parents are supporting their children, the youth, and what we need now, the need of the hour is the government too need to work side by side along with the common people. So when it comes to sports, being a sports person myself too, so I stress more on the standard. When I say standard, it means proper, talking about games, so proper food, proper toilets, proper arenas, and proper food while hosting any sports event in our state. So, sir, I come here for an example which we are talking about the standard. An example in my constituency too. There was an upgradation, a construction of a sitting football gallery. A few years back, a tender was floated and the construction started and which is completed recently. I played in that particular ground, which is in Umsao. Umsao is in Soyang, my constituency. I played in that particular ground. In my days where I used to play football, we played 11 aside. But after the construction of that ground, which many have been there to Umsao, the ground now are being played just 7 to 8 aside. So the question now, when we are talking about standard, we should always maintain that standard. As the Department of Sports should always maintain the standard. So why we speak here now is, whom are we to blame? Should we blame the Department of Sports? Or should we blame the contractor? So when I stand here, if it is a fault of the department, dismantling will be easy. But if it is the fault of the contractor, I think the government or the department should look into it and take serious action. Because now we're moving, our legislators out here are talking about the standard. So we need to raise the standard. From an 11 playing a side ground, it becomes to a 7 to 8 side playing ground. That will not be taken by any professional sports person. Sir, being a sports person, I've spoken already. In my days, I played sports alongside with my colleague, an honorable MLA from Maukandrau, who has played alongside with me, with many other football players in the past. We played alongside. I want to just show the improvement of our standard now. Before, in the past, we played in the muddy ground where we practiced in polo ground. It was muddy. We had to go every day, 5 o'clock in the morning, practice, put on our boots, stockings, shorts, finish the practice, go back home, wash our boots, wash our clothes, take bath, go to college. And it repeats every day. So that was the hurdle we had to go through in our days. But now, with the improvement of the standard now, having an artificial turf almost everywhere in different districts, I feel life is more easy now for the sports person in our state. So while I speak here now, I also want to urge through the sports department to the government that I want to make life easier for other sports person in my constituency too. Because till now in my constituency, being where people look at me as an elder sports person, I want to bring that easiness from playing in a muddy ground to raise the standard to playing in an artificial ground too. Because while playing in an artificial ground, it eases everything. No more of all the hurdle of washing your boots, your socks, stockings every day. So when you go there, you just wash with the same boots. You can only play 2-3 times in a week too. So that is the Department of Sports. Well, here when I come to a different department, a forest department too. Forest department is not much spoken here in August House, but I feel forest department is also a very sensitive and important subject, an important department too, where we have to speak. Because why, looking back, since our Honorable Chief Minister has spoken that they work aside, the government has been working aside with the NASAC department, which is in Omnium. If you compare the satellite images in the past 10 years, looking at the density of a forest, it was thicker 10 years back. But when we look now, we see it's becoming lighter. So I urge the government to be a little bit more serious with the plantation of trees, because since we talk about forests, we talk about everything, because we talk about the ecosystem, the air we breathe, the water system. Because there is a method for counting of trees, which they call the DFS algorithm, where you can count trees. By having these counted every time, it can be fed into a school books, into the college books, and also it can become a question in any competitive exams question, where people will get to know what is the number of trees in our state. Some other states, they already have the numbers. For example, other states like Maharashtra, you talk about Chhattisgarh, they have the number of trees answers every particular year. So we need that our state too should have that figure, because why, it'll be easy, we don't need to go. By just turning the page or going to by Googling it, we will see that Meghalaya have this number of trees this particular year or the next year. And one more thing, another department, sir, which I'd like to cover, is the PHE department. We have been talking about the DGM, we have been talking about other types of works which the PHE has been doing. Well, it's good. We talk about the sources in the other day. Well, I'd like to stress in this department also, because why? Since we have a main source, it's in Mauplang, talking about the Shillong city, because many questions have been coming up, talking about the purity of our water. Is it safe or not to drink? So the department of PHE, which we're talking about, the Mauplang Dam, is the main source there in Mauplang. From the dam, it's been pumped to the TP, the treatment plant, which is in Mauplang. For Mauplang, they have 3 phases where they treat the water. Then it goes to the Upper Shillong. One more time it's been treated. Then goes to the different household taps through the PHE pipes. What I want to know and stress more to other officers and to the government, that from my point of view too, I just want to know more what is the amount the department uses for treatment of water, what is the amount of chemicals that they use for the treatment of water. Because treatment of water, they need lime and they need alum. in the first phase where they have in Mauplang, the 3 phases. Then when it's been treated there, it goes to the other tanks, which is in Upper Shillong. Then they use the chlorine. I may not be a technician, but what I've read, that is the process. So I want to know more, and if given a chance that we also as legislator can visit the department.
Please, your time is up, so please.
Just one more moment.
Please.
Then that is what I want to stress more, the water treatment, the chemicals they use. And lastly, sir, I want to talk about the tourism. Well, it's good talking about tourism. Our honorable MLA has already spoken about tourism, giving a platform to get more jobs. Well, in our state also, for my constituency, people are looking at other districts, looking at other places, they're having festivals. And I would like to urge the government also through our honorable sports, tourism minister, which is not here right now, and also through you, sir, to the government, that they have been having different festivals in our state, like the cherry blossom, the autumn festival, the Nongzrong, which is held recently. They have recently hosted the Ranikor festival. Even me, I just like to urge, through you, Mr. Speaker, to the Minister of Tourism to also host a Soyong festival very soon in our state. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. But Charles Mangnar, please. Please make it short. We have only 6 minutes.
No, sir. Please. 8 minutes, sir. Give me 8 minutes. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to support the amendment motion to the vote of thanks on the Governor address brought by our leader of opposition. I'll make it short, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, let me come straight to the point. Point number 1, Sports Department. Sir, as a local representative from Ribohoi District, I feel proud that both boys and girls are the champion of football in Meghalaya Games 2024, even in the absence of facilities. Sir, as my colleague, MLA from Umsning, Dr. Silangdo has mentioned day before yesterday, I also agree with him. And as he have said that, you can give to any other constituency a good playground, artificial turf. I don't mind, sir. I'll say in Khasi, Tang Balayo Shua, Kalabian. Mr. Speaker, sir, I'll not talk much about sports department. Let me come to arts and culture. Arts and culture department, sir, is one of the departments that the government has to take many initiatives to preserve, to conserve, to promote our talented youth in the state. Sir, we all know that we are very rich in culture and tradition. Each and every district, be it Khasi, Jantia, or Garo. Sir, as of now, I'm very sad to see that our people who are very talented, interested to preserve and to promote our culture and tradition in our state, they have to spend from their own pockets for organizing any programs and to purchase of traditional instruments and traditional dresses. Yes, sir, the government will sanction to each member for arts and culture, but with a small amount, sir. We cannot provide all the requirements. Therefore, I request the government of the day, sir, to kindly allocate more funds to all the members, or to find ways and means to preserve, to conserve, and to promote our culture and tradition in the state. Jogan Hoisinga in his quote says, if we are preserved, we must continue to create it. In Khasi, we used to say, Haba im katanrai, im kajatanrai. One more point, sir. In the last session, I have highlighted regarding the diversity of art and music in the state, with special reference to the choir. As we all know that our state comprised of music lovers, especially those that partake in choir. We should feel proud that various groups, as for instance, the Shillong Chamber Choir, Aroha Choir, Geddes Corner Schools, had really brought fame and honor to the state in particular, and to the nation in general. As an ex-choir leader, sir, I personally had a vision that it's high time for the state government to focus more on this subject. I'm happy to know that the concerned cabinet minister, Minister of Arts and Culture, is also a former songwriter and composer of our state. Hence, I suggest that through the Arts and Culture Department, they should find out all the possible ways and means to uplift this matter within the state, that our state may reach to the newer and greater heights. We may also conduct various activities like the choir competition in every district of the state, and even at the state level. I can assure that this will, in no doubt, help many youths, young generation, to showcase their talents in the midst of unemployment crisis. And by doing so, they may actively participate and hence may not have time to involve in many unhealthy social practices. Number 3, sir, PWD. Sir, in my constituency, we have one pending road connect to Assam Jaki Road. That is Umsning Jaki Road. About 40 kilometers is still pending. The road condition is in a pathetic condition. That is from Sonidan to Umsliang. Last year, sir, in the month of October, I met the Deputy Chief Minister, and I'm happy that an Honorable Deputy Chief Minister immediately directed the department concerned to prepare the estimate for the same. I hope and I believe through the hard work of our Deputy CM in charge PWD, we'll see and we'll get a new road very soon. And at the meanwhile, sir, I request the government to kindly get us repairing of the same road, since the road condition is very bad. Number 4, sir, agriculture. Last session, our Honorable Minister in charge agriculture has clearly mentioned that the government will take immediate steps to find out ways and means for setting up skills industries in our state for agriculture produce. But till today, sir, I don't see any green signal. Therefore, I request the government of the day to kindly take seriously on this matter. Number 5, sir, health sector.
Honourable member?
8 minutes, sir. Now 7 only, sir. 8 minutes. Yeah. 1 more minute.
Yes, 1 more minute.
During the visit and review meeting of our Honorable Minister concerned in the district headquarters last year, the meeting was fruitful and meaningful, sir. But, sir, I have some thing to say here regarding health sector. On that meeting, sir, I had expressed that so many infrastructure, equipments, renovation of sub-center, PHC, water supply, fencing, and staff quarter, etc., sir, needs to be done. And I had expressed that 2 sub-center to
Panel
upgrade
member, please wind up.
to
Your
PHC.
time is up.
I'm very happy that there's a, 1 minute, sir. Our Honorable Minister has given us an assurance to upgrade Sonidan sub-center to PHC. And one more oldest sub-center, sir, at Maurong village is needed immediately for the upgradation to PHC. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, actually I have so many points to share in this August House, but
Due to time constraint.
because of the time, sir, it's very short, so I will not take much time. Only, I request you only one more point, sir.
Yeah.
Please, sir, only one more point.
It will be difficult on my part too.
Please, sir,
Extend the
only
time.
one more point, sir.
You finish.
Tourism department, only tourism department, sir.
You have already.
Sir, in my constituency, there are so many beautiful places that we can make tourist spot. I would like to mention here a few. Number 1 is Khlem at Maurthut village. Number 2 is Elephant Stones at Waumken. And number 3 is Viewpoint at Leicester. And number 4, Viewpoint at Khlem. I request the department concerned to kindly visit once. You will see how beautiful it is. With this few points, sir, I once again thank you for allowing me to participate on Governor's address. And with these few